Hi. Um, Here's something a little different for you to consider and experiment with. Yeah, it's pretty different. I've always had a fascination with fingerprints. And the reason for that is for me, the iris of the eye is a fingerprint, a long term, nearly unchanging fingerprint. Fingerprints are known to be on a child's fingers by the 12th week of gestation. So children's fingerprints form early, and they obviously take them when the child's born. And they also use them throughout life, and science would say that the fingerprint doesn't change. So no matter what we go through emotionally or physically, we end up decades later having the same fingerprint. Now, why this is up for me is, well, I was dwelling on fingers. And the reason I was dwelling on fingers was about my previous experience relative to the second month of winter, called the 3-boy month. And it turned out to be a month of delicate. So the ascending light of the increasing day length that goes from the winter solstice to the summer solstice is an increasing light. The middle month of the 3 months of winter has a specific quality to it. One of those qualities is searching for the truth and experiencing sensitivity that is not common to us. So in this process of really learning how to do the 3-boy, I've gone through some interesting ones that I referred to before as roots. Well, the roots I felt by going in deep to the earth, I started having experiences that led me to study my own and feel my fingers and the fingerprints. Why? Because the delicateness of the kinesthetic or physical capacity for us to feel has to do with the skin and the nervous system associated with it. We feel with our skin. We can feel with our skin in many different ways that science is not quite aware of, but the important part of it is the recent scientific studies that I read about have now located the correspondence to how the fingerprint is created and sustained. It's sustained within the first 3 layers of the skin. So it's a very, very thin band that holds the fingerprint steady. Now, why this is important, this skin of the body and the corresponding sensitivity in the fingerprints, to me, is also the correspondence to the soul. Why is that? For me, your energy field, our energy field, it extends about the length of the arms extended. It can be larger, it can be a little smaller, but the encapsulation of our energy with the body inside is encapsulated by the soul. So the soul, or the container of our energy field, our genetic origin, and our physical body and all of the body systems, is basically controlled by the soul. For me, the soul is that container, and that container of the entire function is the will. So the will of the soul, that which holds everything together, well, I told you this was a bit odd. I'm enjoying exploring and feeling with my fingertips and my toes. It's true, I haven't gone to look at my toe prints, but yeah, I'm sensitive to my toes and my fingers because they reach the outer limits and they have the capacity to reflect the composite of my own soul. Now, the cool part is it's the part of my soul that is essentially unchanging, or at least very difficult to change a fingerprint. Very difficult to change an iris. They don't change over decades. So that part of me, which has a degree of permanence, to me would be my actual true incarnate soul, my higher, truer, original soul. So I'm sensitive to experiencing it, and I'm enjoying the process of how to feel it. Now, I would have to tell you in the moment, I'm not currently capable of actually feeling it. Now, what I mean by that is the recent experiences I've had have shown me that the degree of sensitivity, you see how close these lines are in the fingerprint? Well, you might consider them as actually degrees of sensation or different kinds of sensation. So I'm not yet sensitive enough to be able to feel with any degree of awareness my own soul. I know that's an odd thing to say, but I've really learned a lot this month that the kindness or sincerity or the sweetness or the softness that is required of us to be able to feel the soul is remarkably fine. And I'm not that fine, not that kind, not that open, not that innocent. Now, the reason why this is important is if I really want to feel the spirits around me or see or hear the spirits around me, if I want to see or feel or enjoy the experiences that are altered in nature, which I have a tendency to enjoy, I need to feel more, and it needs to become more refined. Now, if I wanted to receive God's love, I have found that it's possible to receive God's love in any condition, but then that condition becomes a little harder later because we're now required to begin to become more and more sensitive. So if I wanted to receive divine love, I need to become more sensitive. That sensitivity is more feeling oriented, more aware, more allowing, more receptive, and so on and so on and so on. All of those different 12 months of the year, I'm learning to become more sensitive to the presence of divine love. I'm not there, but I'm really enjoying this qualitative experience of using the feeling of my own fingertips to feel glands or organs inside my body. So I'm using a feeling of my fingertips to go in and touch my heart, my liver, my pancreas, each of the glands and organs in all the body systems. I'm using all of that. And ultimately, the real purpose in that is to increase my capacity to be sensitive. That sensitivity enabling me to receive more feeling, awareness, divine love, and so on. So I encourage you to at least experiment with it. You might consider that the roots of the plant kingdom are actually their inwardmost yin fingertips. I know that's a stretch to think of roots of plants or trees or bushes, that their fingertips are actually in the earth, sensing and following lines of water, sensing minerals. They're sensing mechanisms inside the earth. The same mechanism is inside me. I have a sensing capacity to feel organs and glands if I choose to want to feel what's hidden. So I want to choose to feel what's hidden inside me. Now, to do that, just to give you a bit of a caveat, if you sincerely want to feel your kidney, which to me has a lot to do with being sensitive to the incoming experience of life force, you want to feel them both, but have different qualities to it that we won't go into. If you really want to feel it, I would suggest that you spend a little time with it. And I'm leading you to the kidney for a reason, because it is basically one of the very first junctures of life force into the body. Now, if you want to feel the kidney, take your little fingertips, and it would help if you got a picture of a kidney, so you know where it is, what it feels like, where the adrenals are around the kidney, and so on. And you practice feeling them with your fingertip. Now, if you do that and you have a sincere desire to want to feel what's there, you're going to have a rival of different forms of emotions and or law of attraction events to help you experience and or process what's there. If you start to use this fingertip approach, be sure that you're willing to process and feel and take responsibility for all of the possible feelings that are hidden in any one of the major glands or organs. There's a lot more than you think. We have stuffed so many feelings out in so many cabinets inside of us. The fingerprints also relate to the capacity of your soul to learn to feel. Well, give it a shot for now. And if you have some experiences or something, let me know. I'm planning on doing another one on the root system of the fingerprints next month. Well, see you soon.